Okay, so we're going to talk about the second pillar of this business, and I didn't really discuss. There's really four pillars of the business, and that is lead generation, which we just discussed over 16 parts, lead management, acquisition management, and dispositions management. Right, so generating enough leads, managing those leads, acquiring the properties, and then disposing of the properties. When you get to a certain level, you need transaction management also, but that can sort of be incorporated in the others. So after you generate all these leads, you got to manage the leads. So managing leads is a huge part of the business. People don't really understand it, and there are a lot of people who do not deal with leads management the way they should. So let's talk about what leads management is. Leads management is working leads. Now, sometimes you're going to get hot leads, incoming leads, PPC leads, calls from an outgoing mail piece or other piece, and you need to deal with those leads right away. That's the obvious part of leads management. But follow-up is a huge part too. So we're going to get into all those parts of leads management. So the first thing we're going to talk about is answering calls. Answering live calls is a huge part of the business. Most data shows that if you don't answer the calls live, your conversion rate goes down significantly. Now, you can't answer every call live because sometimes multiple calls are going to come in at one time, but you have about 5 minutes to call them back or get back to them before the conversion rate drops significantly. So you need to have either answer the calls live yourself, or pay somebody to answer the calls, or at least have somebody who's going to take those calls quickly and get back to them. The easiest situation, obviously, is to leave a message, but a significant amount of people that are good leads are not going to leave messages. And if you call back everybody who calls, it also gets tedious. So you want to be able to answer as many calls live as possible. And anybody who calls and even hangs up, you want to call them back immediately. Certainly someone who says, call me back, you want to call back immediately. So it's huge. There's a tremendous amount of data on this. And there are a lot of people who are just not answering calls live and have certain conversion rates, and they just don't realize they can do better. So it's important that if you have outgoing mail pieces, or even, so there's the difference of outgoing and incoming, right? If I'm sending a mail piece out, someone's answering that, I try to reach them first by sending them mail. There's also incoming, like pay-per-click and other types of lead generation. But whatever it is, and you should always track and have different phone numbers for it, you need to answer as many of the calls live as possible, either you or a leads manager. And if not, you need to call them back right away. It's very important.